Target 11 investigation leads to changes after a big mistake with the state's COVID contact trackers leaves personal information open for anybody to see. As we all know, the state fired that company, and tonight, breaking details on who is now tracking COVID cases.
And Target 11 investigator Rick Earl found out what the fired company is doing for anyone who could have been hacked.
Yeah, Lisa and David, people impacted by the data breach are finally beginning to receive official notification from the company almost a month after we first exposed it. And we also just learned today the state now plans to use the National Guard as they move away from Insight Global.
We are excited to be able to announce that we have now brought on the National Guard to make sure that there will be no break in continuity of our contact tracing efforts.
Acting Pennsylvania Health Secretary Allison Beam revealing for the first time that the National Guard will now assist with contact tracing. The health department telling Target 11 they will begin training as many as 50 Guard members next week, and that they will work closely with community health nurses to conduct COVID mapping.
Well, I have absolutely no doubt that the members of the National Guard who are trained in cybersecurity and military operations are better equipped to handle sensitive information than the people that we just paid $23 million.
This comes after the state announced last week it was expediting terminating the $29 million contract with Insight Global, the private company hired to do contact tracing. In April, an exclusive Target 11 investigation discovered that the personal health information of more than 70,000 people collected by Insight Global had been compromised. Target 11 also obtained a letter Insight Global began sending out last week, alerting people about the data breach and offering free credit monitoring, even for minors. Some lawmakers are upset it took this long to begin notifying people.
That's absolutely the most concerning part of this entire story, is they knew about this at the beginning of April, even into mid-April, and there are emails that have been documented that maybe they were aware of this back at the end of February. This notification should have happened immediately.
Now, the state health department tells me the National Guard will be involved only on a temporary basis to help with the transition away from Insight Global. It's unclear at this point if they plan to hire a new company to help with contact tracing. That is the very latest reporting live at the breaking news desk. Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.